Welcome, folks, to our City of Madison Public Safety Briefing. We are doing these on a somewhat regular schedule because I think it's important for us to give the community insight into what we're doing across the city and across various departments to deliver on a multifaceted approach to public safety and violence prevention in our community. Today, I'm joined by leaders in city agencies who are going to talk about the initiatives that they are working on. All these initiatives are designed through data and an evidence base. And I think folks will talk also about the collaborations between departments and with partners across the community. We'll be starting with Police Chief Sean Barnes, who's going to update about strategic priorities and targeted efforts, followed by Ariel Smith, who's leading our violence prevention efforts in the City County Public Health Department, followed by our traffic engineer, Yang Tao, who's spearheading Vision Zero. And then finally, last but definitely not least, an update from Assistant Chief Che Stedman from Fire, who will be talking about the Madison Cares program and plans for future expansion of that. So I'll turn it first to Chief Barnes, and then folks can follow in that order, and I will wrap it up. Chief?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor. And thank you for the opportunity to share some of the good work that we're doing here in Madison, taking a team city approach. I want to thank my fellow colleagues who will be presenting after me for their willingness to work with the Madison Police Department to keep our city safe, and most importantly, to make people feel safe. And I think that's a very big part of our role. And when people see us working together, I think they feel safer. So I want to thank you for that, Madam Mayor. All right, I'm going to share my screen here. And I'm going to go through some of the priorities that we have as a department, as the mayor mentioned earlier. We're calling this our mid-year report. At the beginning of the year, we set really ambitious goals of reducing some of the most pressing crime problems that we have in the city. We set a 10% reduction year to date on some of these initiatives. And so we wanted to give our community an update on where we are in our efforts, not only to reduce these crimes by data, but also to make people feel safer here in Madison. The first area of focus for our police department was certainly shots fired. I do believe that this is related to your fear of crime. When people hear the sound of a gunshot, or they hear about someone who was damaged by a gun or some type of property damage, it really makes you feel that you're not living in a safe city. So in order to reduce this crime, we have really been laser focused looking at our what we call our microtime hotspots. Our officers respond to every incident of a confirmed shots fired, and we investigate that just like if we would if something was damaged or if someone was seriously hurt. So far this year, we've had 71 incidences, confirmed incidences of shots fired, and that represents a 14.5% decrease year to date compared to last year. So we're seeing these numbers steadily move in the right direction. We will all agree that no amount of gun crime is welcome in the city of Madison. And so we're all working together to ensure that this does not happen. Moving on, another area that we added this year was burglaries, specifically residential and non-residential burglaries. You will remember that last year we saw a slight uptick in non-residential burglaries, which is really unusual for our city. So we wanted to make sure that was a focal priority. We've had 217 residential burglaries reported as of the end of May. We've had 52 non-residential burglaries, and that is really a step in the right direction. When looking at our 3-year average, we see that we are certainly down compared to the 3-year average before, where we had 338 incidences on average. This year, we have a 20% reduction in our burglaries. And so we're doing an extremely good job of communicating with neighbors, communicating with business owners. When we go out to investigate a burglary, we canvass the neighborhood, we talk to people. We've gotten a lot of good information and cooperation from our community members, especially around I guess you would call them the ring cameras or doorbell cameras, has been very, very good for us, and community members looking out for one another. So we thank you for your willingness to partner with the Madison Police Department. We're trending in the right direction. Again, my goal was a 10% reduction year to date. Currently, we have a 20% reduction year to date. Stolen autos. Stolen autos have certainly led the news in the last couple of years, and I'm proud to say that we're trending in the right direction from that. Although slightly year to date, we're down about 1.5%, but the 3-year average shows that we're down about 26%. And so we're doing very well, I think, in this area, but this is an area that we really need to have more community cooperation on. We are still, unfortunately, seeing keys left in vehicles. We're still, unfortunately, seeing vehicles left running and unlocked. And we need your help on this one. We really believe that this is one area that we can fix. We still have a few of the vehicle immobilization devices left, also known as the club or wheel lock. Please contact your local neighborhood policing officer if you're interested in getting one of those. We think this is a property crime that we really can fix. We really can fix. We know that people are looking for easy targets when it comes to stolen automobiles. Please do not make your target easy. Make sure that you can harden it by making sure your doors are locked, making sure the key fob or extra key fob, I should say, is not left in your vehicle. We're still seeing some of the same old incidences that we've seen, and we've tried to educate our public. Although we're trending in the right direction according to our 3-year average, we think there's more that can be done. So we just need your help. We're going to work hard to do everything that we can to ensure that your property is there when you wake up in the morning. Our traffic initiatives, we're still focused on the same areas which we have designated as our high injury network. East Washington Avenue, Merrill Point Road, and the Beltline. I know Yang will be on a little later to talk about Vision Zero, so I'll let him talk about some of our targeted enforcement efforts and how we're working together with his division to ensure that we have safe roadways. But I will say this, there are 2 things that we have been noticing. One is motorists who are not paying attention and are intentionally or accidentally going through red lights. This is something that the officers have noticed. They brought it to me, and you will be seeing us working on a campaign around that. But before we do that, let's be clear that when the light goes yellow, we need people to come to a complete stop and not go through that intersection. The other thing that we need to do is we need to share the road. We need to share the road with those who are riding their bicycles. We need to share the road with those who are out running and jogging and trying to get in shape. And so I just want to make sure that that's clear, that we're seeing certainly an uptick in people who are running red lights. And as always, be courteous drivers and please share the road. One of the areas of focus that we identified earlier this year was the State Street entertainment area. We've been working extremely hard in that area, and we've seen some really good benefits from that. We've recovered 12 illegal firearms since the month of February on or off or near State Street. We've gotten most of these weapons from vehicles illegally parked or engaged in some type of activity, disorder in or around the Buckeye lot. So we've tried to mitigate that by environmental design. We put up barriers to minimize the vehicle traffic, as well as adding additional officers working downtown, what we call our downtown safety initiative. But we need everyone's help with that. We need your cooperation so that if it's something that you're involved in, it's not a crime, please move on. We're seeing large crowds. We're seeing large crowds of teens and young adults who are coming downtown. And sometimes we get good cooperation and sometimes we don't. We need crowds to be very cooperative with us. We have a job to do, and we have to make sure that the streets are safe, or there's nothing going on. If you're not involved, please move away. I will also say that we have a tremendous giving and charitable community here in Madison. So if you have an organization and you're looking for some type of community engagement to do, give us a call in our central district. It's always a great thing to do community walks. We need you from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. in our State Street, providing mentorship and guidance to people and ensuring that they're behaving. Because what we do not want is to have to rely on enforcement for these areas when we can do other things like gain the cooperation through some of our leaders here in the Madison area. So please consider the Madison Police Department one of your partners and look to partner with us. We need you downtown 10 to 2, making sure that people can move among their way and we can have the cooperation that we need in order to keep everyone safe. Here are some special events that our department has been doing in addition to all the things that we do to keep you safe. We still had the Mifflin Street Block Party, Crazy Legs. We had a visit from the president, American Family Golf Championship, American Family Concerts at Breeze Stevens. We have a Monona Memorial Day Parade, and then there's still more coming. Triathlons, we have Art on the Square, Ironman, the Taste of Madison, which I'm excited about, Warner Park fireworks, and of course, more concerts at Breeze Stevens. So in addition to what we do to keep people safe, we still have to manage so many special events for our wonderful city that occurs during our winter months and our summer months. So keeping Madison safe, what can you do? Anyone who knows me will tell you that I always say the same thing at a community meeting. Everyone leaves with homework. So even though I've given the presentation, we all have homework. And this is your homework. Lock your vehicles and remove your valuables, please. Lock your firearms when they're not in use. Do not leave them in a car. A car is a horrible gun safe. So please do not leave it in the car. Do not leave big boxes or big ticket items that you've purchased that will signify to someone that there is a brand new 70-inch flat screen TV in your home. We need you to cut those boxes up and dispose of them in a recycling bin, because your chief is a very big fan of recycling. So please do that. Park your vehicle in well-lit areas. Be aware of your surroundings. If you can, keep track of serial numbers and valuables. You can take a picture of those and you can put them in the notes section in your smartphone. And keep personal information and schedules private. Some things need to stay private so that people do not know when you're away on vacation or maybe away for the weekend. So those are my points. Again, thank you so much for being a great partner of the Madison Police Department. To all our community members and to all our officers, thank you so much for the hard work that you do each and every day. And now I have the pleasure of introducing Ms. Arielle Smith, who commands our public health.
Thank you so much, Chief. You know, I always appreciate a really good homework assignment. Thank you so much. Thank you to the mayor again for this opportunity to give an update on our violence prevention work. As a reminder, my name is Arielle Smith, and I am the Director of Policy Planning and Evaluation with Public Health Madison-Dane County, and I oversee our violence prevention work. So some of the updates I have today are really exciting ones. We have really been able to advance a lot of our roadmap strategies. As a reminder, that is our roadmap to reducing violence, which serves as the strategic plan for Madison and Dane County around how we are going to work together to reduce violence. And so the Madison and Dane County Violence Prevention Coalition has worked to put out so far more than $200,000 in our community to advance those roadmap strategies in the goal areas of supporting community engagement, fostering strong neighborhoods, and increasing intervention and continuous healing for those affected by violence. So I would love to give a shout out to our wonderful partners who have been able to utilize those dollars and really make a change in our community and really support our violence prevention and reduction efforts. And those are Operation Fresh Start, Meadowwood Neighborhood Association, Urban Triage, the Dane County District Attorney's Office Crisis Response Project, and the Dane County Multi-Agency Center. So thank you again to those partners. So what's next for us in this arena? We have released and have closed our latest round of funding. So this is closed on June 2nd. We had a total of 12 applications completed, which has also totaled a little over $740,000 in request. And so we are currently reviewing those applications, and we look forward to announcing who are partners and what their programming or strategies are going to be related to this very soon, sometime later this summer. Next up is an update on our Community Safety Intervention Team, also known as CSIT. So as a reminder, CSIT provides a space for multi-sector partners to come together and debrief on violent incidences that have occurred in the past week, develop prevention or intervention strategies, and deploy community resources and support in order to reduce violence. So we have 9 agencies who share in that goal with us. We meet weekly and monthly to share information, provide support to victims, and prevent retaliation and promote community healing. And we also track incidences that include patterns of violence or could lead to retaliation and ongoing violence. And so far this quarter, we have reviewed 34 cases, which is more than any other quarter in the previous year. There are a few reasons for this that we are looking into. It's not necessarily an increase in violence, but we have changed our approach and our model to widen the opportunity for the cases that we do review, discuss, and provide follow-up and resources to. So we suspect that has a little bit to do with our increase in case review as well. So some of the follow-up prevention and intervention strategies we have been able to deploy so far this quarter have been connecting with individuals who have been involved in some of the violent incidences we've reviewed. We've been able to offer direct support to victims, and this includes offering terms of housing support, basic critical needs like food and water requirements, and also been able to support in the realm of seeking childcare. So we're really proud of the work that we've been able to do to support some of the victims so far. And then we also focus on community events around safety, just good safety practices, and also opportunities for healing communities who have been affected by violence. Speaking of which, we have also made some good strides on our violence intervention team. We've been able to hire 2 out of 3 of our part-time violence outreach and intervention specialists. So if you are somebody in the community who's passionate about violence prevention and intervention work, has a real passion for working with affected members of our community, and has some ideas and passion around how we could be furthering this work to meet the need for more people, please keep an eye on our website for the next posting for this position. We could definitely use someone like you. Additionally, we've been able to conduct that outreach, provide follow-up and case management services, and also offer peer support services to people who are affected by violence. And so this program launched in April of 2023, and so far we've been able to serve 4 people, but we look forward to serving so many more. Finally, we're going to give an update on our ISTHMUS Safety Initiative. This is a program that we partner with the Madison Police Department on. So thank you so much, Chief, for the support and for the collaboration here. And one of the sub projects in this initiative includes the Safer Bar program, which is a de-escalation and bystander intervention program for owners, managers, and staff at alcohol serving establishments within the city. So far, the program has trained 2 establishments, but we are looking to train additional establishments and create a network of businesses that promote safe practices. So if your establishment is interested, please contact us at violenceprevention@publichealthmdc.com. All right, and lastly, an update on our Safety Navigator program. So this also is a part of our ISTHMUS Safety Initiative. And our Safety Navigator program deploys individuals to the State Street area to provide information, help those in need, and serve as a visible crime deterrent. So Chief, I also appreciate the shameless plug. We are looking for more individuals who would be perfect for this role, who enjoy connecting and meeting and greeting with people in our community, who are knowledgeable about the downtown area, and just really want to contribute to our culture of safety here. So again, if this is you, please keep an eye on our website or reach out to us again at that violenceprevention@publichealthmdc.com email. We would love to have you. And with that, that is my violence prevention update. I would like to pass it off to Yang to talk a little bit more about Vision Zero.
Thank you, Aria, and thank you to the mayor as well for leading us and supporting us in these great initiatives. So with that, I'm going to bring up my slide. All right, okay, so we can see it now. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yan Tao. I'm the city traffic engineer. I manage the city's traffic engineering division and also help the mayor's office in overseeing the city's work on Vision Zero. Our city and our community is keeping doing a lot of good work advancing our goal of Vision Zero. All involved city departments are taking a system approach, and we're really stepping out of our own silo and collaborate in a team city fashion. We are building safer infrastructure. We are utilizing safety data, and we are engaging people for a safety culture. And we promote safe vehicles. And we work with our wonderful police department in providing safety-focused enforcement. And in 2023, we already had 27 Safe Streets projects approved through the Transportation Commission, which covers 53 locations, such as high injury areas, and also by quite a few different schools. And we are institutionalizing a new design and operations philosophy to really prioritize safety. And we are providing enhanced community engagement to engage the public to build a better safety culture through lots of community events. For example, in the past weekend, the Vision Zero team were on the square at the Safety Saturday, engaging with thousands of our residents, especially our kids. And we are working on the first progress report, which will have lots of solid data, and we look forward to release that in the coming weeks. And also our work in this community is being recognized nationally by different organizations in the transportation industry. And we are also pursuing and leveraging different federal safety grants, trying to bring more resources to our community to help us to further improve safety. And more importantly, our work, by the city, by the community, is really having a positive effect. The mayor and the city council started the initiative in 2020. So since that, we have seen significant decline in fatalities and serious injuries on our roads for 2 consecutive years, and also by 29%. So that's a very positive trend, and there is never going to be a scientific way to prove this is due to the Vision Zero initiative, but there are strong evidence which can tell us that our efforts are really helping make a big difference. For example, this trend we're seeing in Madison is not really being seen in most places in this country. As you read news around the country, actually, things are heading to a quite a different direction, unfortunately, in most parts of the country. And even in the greater Madison area, the data is quite different. And also another interesting data point is that if we compare 2022 data with 2019 data, which is before the pandemic, which we already enjoyed quite a bit of safety improvements through that time frame. Even with all the challenges we're dealing with right now, we see the fatalities and the serious injuries in 2022 is significantly lower than what we had in 2019. And more importantly, if you look at the total number of crashes in the city and the total number of injuries and total number of serious injuries and fatalities, I think the trend, really tells a story. So the blue line here, the thick blue line here, is the total crashes in the city. So from 2020 to 2022, it actually didn't decrease. It actually increased slightly. If you look at the total injuries, that's the kind of dark blue line here. From 2020 to 2022, it's about the level. It's about the same. However, though, if you look at the consequences of those crashes, which is serious injuries and fatalities, and that's this red line over here, that has declined significantly for 2 years. That's really the Vision Zero, what the Vision Zero is about. Vision Zero is not about asking people not to make any mistakes. The Vision Zero is assuming that humans are mistakes, and how can we do things to make the consequences less severe, so that when people, when humans do make mistakes, they don't have to lose their lives. And it's really about managing the consequences of those human mistakes, through creating safer infrastructure, through speed management, and through a lot of public engagement, building the safety culture. So this is really exactly what we want to achieve through Vision Zero, and we are seeing that in this result. But our work is still not done yet. We still have a lot of work to do. Even one death in our community is too many. So let's work together and continue to prevent traffic fatalities and serious injuries in our community. And I want to thank the community as a whole for the collaboration so far. So let's keep working on it. Thank you. So with that, I'm going to pass on to Assistant Fire Chief Stedman.
Hi there. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Che Stedman, Assistant Chief with the Madison Fire Department, and I oversee our crisis response team, or CARES team. And I will share my screen as well. And just to be sure, you can view that okay, Mayor? Thank you. So the Madison CARES team, as you know, started September 1st of 2021, was when we launched our first team. And the purpose of the CARES team is to respond to a wide range of 911 calls for nonviolent mental health related crisis that normally would have been responded to by law enforcement. Each team consists of a paramedic from the City of Madison Fire Department and a crisis worker from Journey Mental Health to ensure that the medical and behavioral health care is integrated from the onset of the intervention. So it's really all about getting the right service to the right person at the right time and place. When somebody calls 911, that's an already very stressful situation for them. And our job really is to do our best to de-escalate the situation, provide good treatment on scene, and if possible, provide referral for services. So of course, this increases our patients' satisfaction in the care that they're getting, but it's really also helping divert people from emergency departments and jails where the care that they need isn't often available for them. And so as of today, the CARES teams have responded to over 2,600 911 calls for service. So for us, this is 2,600 times that a police officer didn't have to manage this situation, respond to this call, and more importantly, it's 2,600 times that we were able to provide trauma-informed care and really meet that person where they're at and deal with the individual issue that's happening and spend as much time with them as it takes to help get them the help they need. So the real goal of our response is certainly to treat each patient uniquely. And these are folks that could be having any variety of issues from suicidal ideation, extreme anxiety, depression, drug, alcohol addiction issues. And we need to utilize the resources in the community that are appropriate for each of those situations. So this is just a short list of some of the resources that we utilize. And there's a reasonable expectation that we are aware of all of the resources in the city that are available. And so we work really really closely with Dane County Human Services, Madison, Dane County Public Health, Journey Mental Health, to make sure that we really understand, who we can refer patients to and when those services are available. There's a new clinic opening up in Madison on the southeast side. It isn't open quite yet, but should be in the coming weeks. It's a community medical services clinic. It's basically a methadone clinic and a drug addiction clinic, and we're already talking to them about how we can refer patients, drive them to the clinic, get them enrolled in the services they need. And really that referral process is key to us getting the people the help that they truly need. The current CARES operations are that we have 2 teams that respond Monday through Friday between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. And again, those hours in service are based on past years of data that the police department had on how many calls they were responding to related to mental health crisis. And what we found was that during the week, during the day was the busiest times, but in the near future, we're also going to be expanding CARES services into the weekends. In October of this year, we have it budgeted to add a 3rd CARES team in service during the week, during our peak hours. So again, the data shows us that Monday through Friday from about 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. are the heaviest times during the week that people are in crisis. So we want to try to bolster the teams during that time so we can catch as many of these crises as possible. It's been a great collaboration between the 911 center and the police department as well, because the 911 center really has the important job of triaging these calls appropriately to the CARES teams. And also police officers routinely come across folks that are having mental health crisis. And those police officers can refer those folks to CARES. CARES can show up, take over the care of that patient, and let that law enforcement officer be freed up to do their job protecting the city. So with each agency that we're working with, we all have the same vision around making sure that folks are getting the help that they need. And that's really what this is all about. And so just to summarize, if you or someone you know is having a behavioral health crisis, call 911, and if CARES team is available, they will respond to you. And if you just want to talk about mental health crisis resources or just get an idea of how someone else could receive help, you're always welcome to call the Journey Crisis Line 24 hours a day at 608-280-2600. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Mayor Rose Conway. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, and thanks to everybody for your presentations today. I really appreciate all of the hard work that this represents, not only to lead your teams and to really be looking at the data and our evidence-based interventions, but also, as you've seen, the amount of cross-departmental collaboration that's happening, I think, is really impressive and important. So I want to say thanks to these folks and to their teams at the city, but also to the folks in the community who are partnering on these efforts, but also folks who have participated, whether that's through coming to public meetings or participating in some of our resident committees. It does really take an entire city to create a culture of safety, and that's what we're trying to do here, whether that's safety around mental health or transportation, or just safety in our neighborhoods. And it's important that we all be engaged in that to make Madison a safer place. So thanks to all involved. I'm particularly pleased to hear that in general, we're trending in the right direction, and that particularly that shots fired are yet again down, and look forward to continued data on that front. I'm also really pleased, Ariel, to hear that public health is staffing up in the violence outreach and response teams who will be out on the streets focusing on preventing violence by connecting with folks who are either engaging in or have been victims of violence, and connecting community members to resources. And that's, I think, really what a lot of this work is about, is making sure that we're connecting folks to the resources that they need so that they don't turn to violence. So really delighted to hear that you're expanding your team. And it's also, of course, great to see that even though we still have folks that are not driving as safely as they could out there, that the investments that we've made in Vision Zero really do start to get at that human error question and building both infrastructure, but also then enforcement and education to make sure that folks are safe on our street. And of course, I'm delighted that we're going to have future expansion of CARES. I think those teams have been doing such a great job in our community. And again, do encourage folks to utilize the CARES resource. Or of course, you can call 988 if you want to connect with mental health resources as well. We are broadly committed to tackling Madison's most difficult public safety issues, leveraging both local and federal funds to make sure that we have the greatest impact for our community. So now I will open it up if there are any questions from folks in attendance. If you have a question, please use the raise hand function, and we'd be happy to try and answer them if there are any. And I will keep filibustering so people can find that raise hand function, which is down at the bottom of your screen, if there are any questions. And if not, then I'd invite anyone viewing this to certainly reach out to any of the agencies involved if you have questions, or you can find us all at cityofmadison.com. And there's good information about all of these programs online. And again, thank you to everybody who's doing such great work to promote safety in our community. And with that, I think we can close.